Almost 12 minutes past the top of the hour on this Monday morning. Welcome back into Good Morning Quad Cities. Hope you had a great weekend. We have got a very hot and humid week ahead of us. If we thought last week was bad, this week going to be even worse. Yeah, just in time for the kids to go back to school. Before we get to that, let's get to your traffic situation on this Monday morning. All is quiet. In fact, good visibility again, too. We're not dealing with any patchy fog, which is nice to see. By the way, did you happen to see this last night? If you were kind of peeking out the window, maybe you were like me, you were driving back to Geneseo last evening. Yeah, a really cool scene. So you've got bright sun rays on the left-hand side and then kind of a shadow on the right-hand side. So I call it a divided sky. Well, there's a reason we saw this, and I want to thank Mary for taking a picture because I didn't have a safe spot to pull over and actually take one before this went away very quickly last evening. But here's what happened. So, of course, we had obviously the earth is round. We all know that, despite what anybody else online says. But you had some thunderstorms off to the west of us into parts of Minnesota and northern Iowa. And what those thunderstorms did is they actually cast a shadow on the horizon as the sun was setting on the western horizon there. So you had bright skies on one side with the sun's rays, and then you had that shadow on the other side. And we call those crepuscular rays. Very cool stuff. A little bit of science there to kick you off your Monday morning. Very quiet on the radar here, but we go to the north and west, and what a lightning show we're seeing. In fact, if you live, say, north of town, up towards Maquoketa to Savannah, even Dubuque, look off to your north and west. I guarantee you're seeing quite a nice lightning show in the distance. The plan is that the majority of this is likely going to fall apart, but we can put a track on this, and I'll show you when this is likely to arrive here a little bit closer to the Mississippi River. Looks like just about 8 o'clock should this hold together, and I really hope it does because we need some rain in here, despite the fact that it may add some humidity going into the afternoon. So we're going to keep an eye on this. It's really nowcasting, what we call it, forecasting hour by hour. In fact, Future Track really just dissipates the whole complex entirely. It's not our only chance for rain this week. In fact, another one may come in tomorrow. Only a low risk that we may see some gusty winds in terms of severe weather. That's the same story as we head into Tuesday and even Wednesday as a couple more complexes try to work themselves through the region. But the big story this week is going to be the heat and the humidity combined. That's going to mean heat index values well into the 90s today. Widespread 100s off to the south and west. But tomorrow, those come right overhead. So likely a heat advisory going to be needed for us, not only tomorrow, but also for Wednesday too. Look at the expansiveness of the 100+ degree heat index values that'll be moving in. And that's just the start of it. It's going to be a very hot week ahead. So there you see that complex of thunderstorms. Future Track is not very enthusiastic about keeping those held together, if you will. In all likelihood, they will fall apart as we lose some of that dynamics. But it will give us a little more humidity into the afternoon as temperatures head for the low 90s. Future Track very robust on putting the upper 90s in here, but I think we'll be a little bit cooler than that. And then tonight, we'll see if we can get another storm complex to fire off to the north and west. This morning, though, it's a little cool, but still humid. We're at 65 right now. Here's where we go for the next few days, and there's a lot of 90s ahead. In fact, I don't think we break the 90s until we get to about a week from today. And being on the edge of this heat dome, if you will, we will be susceptible to a couple of rounds of thunderstorms that could have some gusty winds. But as of right now, coverage looks best as we head in towards Thursday, possibly into Friday, and then again for later on next weekend.